My mom, after 6 months, came out of the hospital, and my dad said, I can always remember, these are your children. She didn't know her children, Sorry.
It's okay.
On Sunday, a group of victims of non-consensual brainwashing experiments by Dr. Ewan Cameron at McGill University's Allan Memorial Institute came together for the first time to plan how to get an apology and compensation from the federal government.
We have to make sure that the population as a whole is aware of what this government did to their own citizens.
They call themselves Survivors Allied Against Government Abuse. Dozens shared testimonies of what they describe as torture their family members endured at the Allan in the 40s, 50s, and 60s.
I feel this weight of pain in this room.
They came from across Canada, this survivor all the way from British Columbia.
Well, I remember Dr. Cameron. Whoever was, whenever he was around, we were always running away, going hiding. No one wanted to be near him.
Dr. Ewan Cameron developed a treatment he called depatterning. His goal was to wipe out his patients' minds and then reprogram them. He used massive doses of electroshock treatments, sleep-induced comas, LSD, and barbiturates, forcing patients to listen to hours of recorded messages on tape. His work was funded by the CIA and the federal government in the 50s and 60s.
When you walked into the Allan, it was a cloud of smoke. People were sitting down. Some of them were pacing, having headaches. I can't remember. I don't know where I am. What am I doing? Who am I?
The testimonies were similar. Family members being admitted for minor issues like depression and coming back changed, not knowing who they were, hostile and aggressive.
She wasn't the same person as before. It was very difficult for her to take care of our home and her children.
He recently told me a story of how he used to wander around and sit on park benches for hours at a time, trying to figure out what they did to him and what had happened to his body and mind.
The group is planning a class action lawsuit against the federal government and possibly McGill University and the Quebec government, so all victims and their families can receive compensation.
We should all receive compensation. I moved on with my life. I don't need the compensation, but at least I need an apology. But the others do need it. We're functioning, whereas some of the others were not functioning. They are really more severely affected than I was.
77 people did receive $100,000 in compensation from the federal government when it launched the Depatterned Persons Assistance Plan in the 90s, but several were refused, deemed not damaged enough.
We're all here together as one voice to try to correct the injustice.
In a statement, the Department of Justice said the Depatterned Persons Assistance Plan was set up on a humanitarian and compassionate basis, and a third-party inquiry found that Canada did not hold any legal responsibility towards victims. That inquiry was done by lawyer and former MP George Cooper.
But I don't agree with the George Cooper report. He bent, with all due respect, he bent backwards to favor the government and protect the government.
Alan Stein has represented over a dozen depatterning victims and was successful in getting all but one compensation.
You know, we belong to a group. We're part of it. We are, it's like a family. There's a bond there because we have something, we all have something in common. And we have to support each other.
In Montreal, Tenneriello, City News.